Well, good afternoon and welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, maybe good morning even for some of you who've joined us today. So first, welcome. I'm the director of the Integrative Medicine elective rotation, out of which, or from which actually, this is IMmersive sessions grew. And today, which is our fourth monthly IMmersive session, we are really privileged, and I am delighted personally to welcome Dr. Marie Chiasson, who's going to be sharing meditation with us. And for those of you who don't know Dr. Chiasson, she's the director of the Fellowship in Integrative Medicine and also the medical director of IMmer, and held it and carried it, as she does so much at the center, with exquisite grace and ease. We are fortunate to have Dr. Chiasson sharing with us today. When she completes the meditation, we'll have time for Q&A, which I will do my best to monitor through the chat. So please put in your questions, and I'll offer them up to Dr. Chiasson. And then after that, anyone who is interested in learning more about learning opportunities at the Center for Integrative Medicine, please stay on with myself and some other members of our team so that we can continue that conversation. So with no further ado, Anne-Marie, thank you for what you always share with us.
Thank you, Deborah, for that beautiful introduction. So as Deborah said, I'm Anne-Marie, and I'm going to share with you the heart center meditation today. I started meditating when I was 10, grew up in a hippie family, but I've been doing this one for about 24 years. I've practiced many types of meditation. And I want to share this one with you because I think it's extraordinarily healing. And of all the different meditation types I do, this is the one that I use for healing myself, and I share with others for self-healing the most. The meditation's probably 4,000 years old. It has roots in multiple other traditions. You'll recognize it. Every tradition has a way of describing the heart center. It's a communal state of consciousness that's actually housed within each of us. It's where we're connected. So if I want to reach somebody with a message, if I meditate at the heart and send it, the phone rings 2 minutes later, that kind of thing. It's a communal state of consciousness. Karen Armstrong wrote a book called 12 Steps to a Compassionate Life. And she talks about in the beginning that compassion-based or heart-centered meditations come up in societies in times of great change. And so you can see the swaths through time, whether or not it's the medicine people or the spiritual people, they bring the aspects of the heart in, and that you can actually track through times of great change. And it's certainly true what I learned the heart center meditation 24 years ago. There weren't a lot of compassion meditations going on. Now, most of the traditions have one. So this is rooted in a compassion focus. It's got other aspects, and it's quite an old meditation. I'm sure you'll recognize it to some extent. People tell me that if they can't meditate, and a lot of people can't meditate, they can do this one. So the focus here is going to be how much love can we generate at the heart? How much unconditional love can we generate? This is a generative meditation instead of one where I'm just watching the thoughts go through. We're going to put the focus on generating a different state of consciousness at the heart. It can be quite healing. There's a couple things I want to tell you before we jump in. You can move in this meditation. Don't worry about sitting still. It's an energy meditation. So if you want to move, move. If you want to cough, cough. Sometimes I call it the coughing meditation because as the energy opens at the heart, it goes to the high heart, and sometimes we have to cough. So you're all on mute. Don't suppress it. None of this. Go ahead and let it move through. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So yeah, it's excellent. And we're going to be in a communal field together. So for those of you that know about global coherence and meditation, with as many of us that are on right now, which is 238, will create a shift in the global coherence field. So I like that part too. That's just like a little bit of my geeky quality. All right. So I'm going to share my screen for the music, and then we're going to dive into the meditation. I learned this meditation from Brew Joy, yet like I said, oops, that's not the right thing, excuse me. I learned this meditation from Brew Joy, but as I said, it's rooted in many traditions. And Devorah, who introduced me, also learned this meditation from William Brew Joy. Beautiful meditation. There are many people around the country and around the world teaching it, and there's no certification. So I like to say, see one, do 30, and then share it. See one, do 30, and teach one. Okay, it's accessible. It belongs to all of us. You can't really own energy at the heart. Okay, so to get started, it has a hand position. So the hand position, this is the heart chakra. This is my high heart. And down here is my solar plexus. So the heart chakra is right here, right at the mid chest, right at nipple line. One hand goes here and the other goes over it. It doesn't matter which hand you put down first. And then you want to relax your shoulders. So you're holding yourself. In the beginning, I used to effort like this. So we don't want to effort. Just allow your shoulders to drop. And if that's uncomfortable for you, once we get started, once we start the flow at the heart, you can drop your hands, but keep your thumbs touching. So just drop them in your lap so you'll get the circuit of energy. Okay. We know that meditation increases telomere length, decreases some of the aging process. It highlights parts of the brain that get quieter during stress. We know that meditation has lots of positive benefits. So get ready to experience that. So what we're going to do is we'll start with our hands at the heart. Then I will induct you into the 4 attributes. And again, don't struggle to remember them. Just repeat one with each breath as it comes to you. I'm going to play a piece of music. We're going to hear it 3 times, and I'll re-induct you between the second and the third. And I'll put the music in if you like it. So we're going to play a very specific piece of music. For those of you that might like music, do this without. But for today, we're going to use this specific piece of music. Okay? So we'll get started. So we begin the meditation by practicing the art of sacred touch. So we begin by placing our hands at the level of the heart and touching our own bodies as if we were touching the most amazing thing we ever had the opportunity to touch. As if you were touching a newborn or your beloved or an ancient relic, or perhaps somebody who died who you had the opportunity to see again. Touching your own body with compassion and reverence and awe. And see while we do this if you can feel how that touch feels to your body. So that's how we announce to the body we're switching states of consciousness. Just allowing yourself to flood your own body with appreciation. Now from here, the heart center has 4 attributes. The first attribute is compassion. Oceanic, boundless, supernal compassion. With your breath, invite it in or activate it. Maybe use an image or a feeling. Compassion. The second attribute, innate harmony. Innate harmony. It's the still point. It's the calm in the midst of chaos. The eye of the hurricane. Bliss. Invite it in, activate it. The third attribute, healing presence. Love's natural action. Love in action. And also the longing for healing. Healing presence. See if you can generate the desire for healing and feel love in action. And the fourth attribute. The fourth attribute is unconditional love. Unconditioned, unconditional. It's reverence and awe for exactly how things are in this moment. It's not personal love, it's transpersonal. Invite it in. And if you have a religious tradition or a face of a deity, please invite that in to join us today as well. So I'll go through the attributes one more time. Compassion, innate harmony, healing presence, unconditional love. I'll call you out at the end. So go ahead and get lost in this if you can. With our breath, we'll drop in one layer deeper, reassuring your thoughts you'll be back soon. Compassion, innate harmony, healing presence, unconditional love. your breath one layer deeper. We'll spend a little more time here. Compassion, innate harmony, healing presence, unconditional love, spherical expansion of the energy. And before you come out, practicing the art of collapsing time and space, sending this to some point in time in the future where you feel like you might need it, or to someone else, or to some point in time in the past, a time where there was a particular amount of suffering. And then as you come back out, your hands are charged with some pretty beautiful energy. So place it on your body anywhere you might need a little healing or a little extra oxytocin. This kind of touch increases our oxytocin endogenous. If you don't know where to put your hands, put them on your face. It's where we have the most receptors. And I hope, Devorah, I did that in the right timing. Back to you.
Well, first, I need a little time. So I'm going to take a moment. Very beautiful, Anne Marie. And I'm particularly appreciative how, in the spirit of integrative medicine, in the very sort of closing moment of that deep opening to connect it to what we understand at the level of oxytocin and receptors, that for the part of the mind that wants to make sense of magic,